Well, hello, welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist, joined only with myself because hubby's been sick for the last week. So I asked him to hang out, chill out, and get himself better. So today we are going to work on the eye of the white horse and the muzzle. We worked on the muzzle in the members only live last week. So now it's time to get on the white one. Hey Burl, hey Andrea. We are going to get started. So if we look over here, I tried to make the eye as big as possible without cutting out as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom us in, put us at an angle. There we go. Hopefully that's good. I know it seems pretty bright. I can lower that a little bit, just so it's easier to see, I hope. And if you're watching and you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you have subscribed in the past but you haven't been seeing anything, go ahead and hit check, make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people a lot. So for this horse's eye, I have it pulled up so we can see it even closer on my phone. The eye is closed and we have white eyelashes coming down, so we need to get in between there, and this is the corner of the eye, and that's the lower lid, so we need to get up underneath there. So I think in order to separate the eyelashes first and get that dark in, which I do have lines here that we need to go ahead. We're going to start with the Optima 9M. It's smaller just a tad than the small ball tip, and that hopefully will allow us to get in there. Let's see here. I'm not sure. Does everything look and sound good to you all? If it's blurry, don't forget to hit the little gear and choose 1440 by 60 HD, and it should hopefully clear up for you. And since I'm by myself, I have to remind myself to look at the screen to see your comments. So hang in there with me. And I'm also fighting, trying not to get sick. Oh, good. Fighting that hard. Thank you guys. Coughing up stuff that I hadn't been coughing up. But I'm willing myself not to get sick. Alrighty, so I am heating up at 2.5. Remember, this is on raw wood, so my speed is going to matter more than temp. So let's get this dark in. And right now I'm just going to block in, because remember, it's easier to darken something than it is to lighten something. So I'm just going to block it in. And if it needs to go darker later, that's a very easy thing to do. But if I go too dark, it's much harder to lighten up. So I'm just going to tap in between the eyelashes since they're white, because what I'm going to do is negative burn around these eyelashes to ensure they stand out. Plus it makes it easier than trying to scratch them out, which if that's what you have to do, that's, you know, totally fine. This just makes things easier and one less thing to deal with. So in between here, and you know what, I can zoom in a little bit more. Hey Carmen, let's zoom in a little bit more, because I want you guys to be able to see as much as possible. I'm trying to get this eyeball on the screen. There we go. That's like really zoomed in. You guys are seeing closer than I am. Alright. So right here is the top of the lid that's down, because this is the eyelid right here. This eye is closed. So this is the eyelid right here. We have a dark area of the eyelid that we can't see. And right above these eyelashes, we got a little bit of what looks like eyeliner going on, but not for the whole area. So I'm just going to go to the top and drag some of that in. And remember, right now we're just blocking in, so it's going to look a little off. This is where we have to trust ourselves, trust the process, and know it's not going to stay this way. Alright, so that is where the lid and the regular eyelid and the upper lid, this is the crease in between. Up here, let's see here, how's it going? Here. And then we got some hair that goes up, curves, and then we've also got some lines that I'm going to quickly put in with this tip. I'll come back with the Optima small, Spear Shader small, to really fill that in, but for now, I'm just going to get the direction of the hair that's above and below. Just moving quickly. That's why it's burning lighter, because I'm moving fast. Look up. Alright. Sorry if I have to tell myself to look up. So this is the bottom. And I'm going to quickly drag down in between some of these lashes, so I know what's going on. You see that it's really light, so I don't have to worry. But right under here is pretty darn dark. I think I can pull that off with the 18 small. So I'm going to skip down to our lower part here, which is where the corner of the eye fully connects to the bottom of the lid. In fact, I have enough room that I think I can go ahead and switch pins. I just use this pin to get into small areas, get them blocked in. It also helps me get a feel for what's going on. So I'm going to leave my temperature the same as what it is, which is 2.5. And I'm just going to switch pins. And hopefully it's the only pen I'm going to have to use. So, am I casting too much of a shadow for you guys, or are we good? I think I can go a little brighter. Granted, my tablet, the monitor's a little darker. Alright. So this is gonna, on my test board, burn lighter. I'm gonna use the tip. Just kind of tap and drag in. I'm gonna start on one side so that I can keep my direction, because right now tonal value and direction are the most important thing, especially when it comes to something as muscular as a horse. So I'm going to tap this in. Remind myself to talk and look. And just using the tip, barely touching down. It's a really small area, but this is how I can more easily control what my pen is doing. I'm tapping and dragging, starting off in an unburned area, because remember, when we go into an already burned pretty good area, it requires more heat. When I slow down, it's gonna burn hotter. And the more I spend time-wise learning how my pens burn, the more successful I will be. And the best way to get to know your pens, one, is not only to do a test board so you know what your different tips do, but two is to spend time burning. Because I can tell you all kinds of stuff, but if you're just watching and not burning because maybe you feel a little overwhelmed or you don't trust yourself yet, you're not gonna, you'll maybe mentally understand the concepts, but until you actually really do it, it doesn't get in your brain in the same way. So right now, sorry, I'm kind of holding my breath because I'm going into a really little area, trying to darken it up. No, don't go away. Thank you. This pen is awesome, especially on its side. This is the pen I use the most. This is the one I recommend the most. This is the most versatile pen. I'm good. No, okay, good. Thank you. So we got shadow here. So I'm going to skip that for now because we're just trying to get this shape in. And pull this down more. See how that burned darker? Is because I committed more of the tip and burned and pulled. And then I'm just going to rotate just slightly. See, it's just a little rotate so I can get up underneath and cut this burn in, because we're going to want this area to actually pop out. So in order to do that, we need to undercut the shadow into the area. And it kind of bulbs down here and goes straight up. Alright, we're going to come over here, do the same thing with this. It may not look like it, and I try to get it as so you guys can really see. Let me see if I turn this light on, if it'll move my shadow, because the shadow you guys are getting from my hand is from my ceiling light. Let's see, that helped a little bit. I don't want to go much brighter because then it's gonna wash it out. Alright, undercutting this crease, pull it up. Now the thinnest part of this tip is up on the tip and then on its edge. And the more flat I rotate, the thicker the stroke will be. The more I go up on the edge, the thinner the stroke will be. And we're going to need to use a thin edge to get in between these white eyelashes. So I'm going to quickly drag, get the top of this lid in, and because I'm right-handed, it's easier for me to twist to the left to get in between where these lashes are. I don't want to go dark right now. I want to be able to adjust. So I'll come back. Let's see here. We have a dark right about here. It goes down almost to the bottom lid. So we'll drag that down. And then we got a bit of curve, so I'll do a C stroke to get that curve. And then what we can do is very quickly move to get that shadow in. And right now I'm not going to worry about the dark and black, splotches on the horse, brown, black, because I can always put those in later. So I'm not even going to worry about them right now. And I can put however many I want in. I don't have to put every single one. So let's get some of these wrinkles in. Those are a little darker. Make sure I angle it to follow the eyelid. And if I'm a little off, I can go back and fix it. And then I need to, because I burned this so dark, I can actually feel the ridge. I just need to keep that in mind, because I can feel it grabbing my tip, because I indented. I did an indent with that dark, which is totally fine. Then we need to drag up. So I'm on my left leg flat, doing a backward C stroke. And again, I'm going to come back and readjust all this. I just need to get it in. In fact, we can go a little thicker here. And if the camera bounces, I'm sorry, it's right in my face. And I'm trying to hurry up and block this in so we can move down to the muzzle. Some of these darks up. And when we're really up close, it may look incorrect, but when I back off the camera, you'll see that it looks closer than we thought. So I'm trying to negative burn a little wider. So I'm just up on the tip. And when I erase, it'll look cleaner. That's another thing, because there's graphite on the board, it looks dirty. The more we work it, the more they'll start looking like eyelashes. But we gotta keep working it. If you're feeling it's off, totally cool to go work on a different area. That way your brain can reset. And right now these look a little long. All I have to do is shorten them up. And under here, I'm on the top half of my tip, flat, dragging. As I put more burn in and move quickly, I'll be able to better adjust the shadow. And remember, my grain is moving left to right, so if I move up and down, it's gonna grab my tip a little differently, so I need to remember that as I'm working. I think I want this to be wider, so I'm dragging. Again, we can always darken up later, so I'm not gonna stress about it. Alright, so it's a little darker in the middle. I'm trying my hardest not to burn on top of the graphite if I can possibly keep from doing that. Only because it just makes it easier to remove if there's not a burning on top. Alright. So as I put more darks in around it, right now I'm on my right edge. Darken in here, and we'll pull back so that you can see. Try and get some of that eyeliner in there. Like dogs, horses have fabulous eyeliner. Again, this will all be adjusted, but we're going to back out so we can see if it looks closer to what we want. And I do need to shorten these because in general eyelashes are shorter, and then as they curve around they get longer, and then they get shorter. Not always, but in general. So let's back it out. Guess I could have left the camera where it was because I zoomed in quite a bit. Yeah. As we put in this shape right here, this will look more like an eye. But for now, we're actually going to bump down to the muzzle. But remember, when something is white, even though it's white, come on, clear up. Let me take that off. There we go. Even though it's white, it still has tone to it. There's darker whites and lighter whites. I'm going to back off my zoom so it's easier for me to adjust my camera. Get the camera down in there. I'm going to turn it a little bit. And now we're going to start with the darkest part first. Let me move the reference file so it's easier for you guys to follow along. Let's see here. Because our muzzle is right there. I can try to make it a little bit bigger. I'm trying to have more burning area than photo area. So right, that should be good. Alrighty. And I need to bump down my chair because I'm too high. Move my reference photo. Now for this horse, it has more gray than black on the muzzle. So we're going to start with the nose, which is the darkest part, which is why there's a little X right there. That's telling me this is the darkest part within the nose structure. So I can go ahead and erase that. The burning is going to hide it, but I guess, ooh, did I get foggy or did my glasses get dirty? Alright, sorry about that. So we shall stick with 2.5 for now. So right up against the outside of the nose is where our darkest area is going to be, because this is the area that is receiving the least amount of light. So it's going to be the darkest. It's the deepest in there. So I'm just up on the tip, dragging slower because I am using only 2.5. I'm intentionally having the butt end of my tip in here, so if there's any overburn, because I'm moving so slow, it'll burn inside, not outside. Let's see here. We'll quickly, because our dark comes down. So even though this is a white horse, we still have all these darks in here. And then it comes up. So I'm flat, moving slow, and it will actually burn darker if I go with the grain instead of on top of the grain. So I'm flat, top half of my tip, dragging in the direction of the grain. And all these little nuanced strokes and hand position and how I drag my tip, they all make a difference. Makes it easier. I'm fighting the wood less. Remember, we don't want to fight our wood. If we're fighting our wood, it can be quite frustrating. So it's easier if you figure out why the fight is going on and readjust. Still totally able to burn, it just makes it harder and less pleasurable. Alright, so we got this dark in here right up, just like the crease of the eye. What I'm going to do, because although it's dark, we do have a lighter dark that comes into the structure of the nose. Because the nose is not a flat dark, and we got to remember that. So we're going to go flat. I'm still on 2.5, but you can see it's burning lighter, and that is because of how I'm moving my pen. So I have a line. And again, always easier to darken than it is to lighten. So if I can get it more correct on the first time blocking in, it makes it so much easier. Does that mean I'm spending more time? Yep, I'm spending more time in the beginning, but then I can spend less time at the end. So I'm just building up, going back and forth over that stroke over my oval strokes to blend. Dragging up. And this is the best way to get a gradient. Although you can start in the light and do it in the opposite way. Totally works. I've found if you want a gradient, if you can start in the dark, and as it's meant to get lighter, you move quicker, you'll get a really smooth burn. Smooth and even. But you absolutely can go from light to dark as well. Right. A little lighter here, so I'm going to go over that. And then we need to come out here to get the rest of the structure. So I'm just up on the tip flat, blocking it in. And right here, it's a little darker here. We got a bit of a curve, so I'm kind of doing a sketching motion. Barely touching the wood just so I can get it in there. And then we will blend more. Let's see here, how far down do we go? I lifted my pen for more than a second, so I'm going to touch down in a dark area. And see, right now it looks a little rough, but I'm going to keep working it. In fact, it goes deeper, darker here. So up on my tip. Keep working it. I know there's this feeling of hurry up, get it done. But I do promise that if you slow down just a little bit, even if it's just a little bit, you will see a difference in your work. And if you're new, and if you start off slower, it's easier to maintain that and build up your skills. Because you haven't, we all develop bad habits. And they can be hard to break. Kind of like cleaning your pen with sandpaper to get the carbon off. You shouldn't do that. You'll destroy your pen. Things cost money. And if I go a little dark somewhere, that is totally fine. Remember, when this is all said and done, only you guys are going to really see the reference. Anybody else looking at it, whether in person or social media, is not going to have the reference next to it. So all they see is a finished piece, and they see it as a whole. Whereas you guys are watching me or doing it yourself, and you can see things because of your reference that other people don't see. So if you do something a little different, and you're not doing somebody's specific animal of which they really know that animal, and they can see the little details, don't worry about it. A horse is a horse is a horse, unless it's a custom piece. Now I am going to have to darken that up, but for now, look up. Check to see, because I'm only seeing top chat. Oops, I need to go to live chat. Alright. So I will keep working this back and forth until it's dark enough, keeping in mind that this also needs to be worked over here. But for now, we are going to move over. This is another dark area. Hopefully I'm on camera, because this is at the bottom of my piece. I'm going to drag up for now because that's the direction of the muscular and skeletal structure of the horse. And come down. Just blocking it in. It needs to go much, much darker, but let's just, for time's sake of the live, we will just quickly block some of these areas in. Now, a horse has big wrinkles around its mouth. And these wrinkles we do want to stand out because it's part of the horse's structure. It helps make it interesting. And they don't need Botox. Let's get the dark area of this mouth in right here. Now there's a piece of grass in the horse's mouth. I didn't feel that it needed to be in the burning, so it is not in the pattern. If you're working on the same pattern and you want the piece of grass in, go for it. That was an artistic choice on my part. Nice and slow up on the tip because this is the darkest area. Now there's areas of this horse that I really want to stand out. Both horses. To make them feel more 3D. Just like their reference. So we need to have these darks in there to make that happen. So I'm going to slow down, drag. Excuse me. I'm working real hard not to get sick. I've been sick enough lately. Block these in. Moving quickly. And then this darker area gets smaller. It's right up against the lip. Top lip. Just gonna drag it up. And then these are the dark ones going down. Get that in there. Up on my tip, moving slowly with the grain so it burns darker. Sorry, trying to get my eyes to clear up and refocus. Next week, members, pending I'm not sick and I'm trying real hard. Unfortunately, Hubcap hasn't even been able to sleep in our bedroom for a week. He's been in the guest room trying to keep me from getting sick. We've been trying hard. The biggest thing I miss is I like getting kisses from my hubcap. Because he's sick, I don't get them. Let's drag some of these down. Again, I'm just quickly moving. Let's see here. Okay, we got some darks that follow up. Now, if you want this pattern and many other patterns for $5 a month, you can get them by becoming a member. Just click the join button next where the subscribe button was, and you can get those patterns in our Facebook group. If you don't have Facebook, totally fine. You can also get those patterns on Ko-fi if you sign up through Ko-fi. And if you don't use either one and you sign up, I will email them to you to ensure you get them. Alrighty. And if you can't afford it, I totally understand. Watching and commenting, subscribing, those all also help the channel. And they're very much appreciated. Alright, we got some darks up here. I'm just going to drag quickly so that I don't lose this line where it's a little lighter. Not much, but a little bit. Remember, let's see here. We got a dark U there. And I know on some level it looks like I'm outlining, especially when I tell you not to outline. Or recommend. I shouldn't say tell you, because truly burn how it makes you happy. Just if you want realism, outlines don't. They don't work together. Stylized, totally different. Alright. Since I don't remember what this line is that I transferred, I shall look at my reference photo that has the lines. And again, ultimately, if it's not absolute, it is totally fine. So the muzzle goes down, so we need to make sure. We've got a dark that comes out of here. So I'm just going to quickly black that in. Remember, that's supposed to go darker. I just blacked it in. So we have some hair whiskers that stick out here as well. That's a whisker, that's a whisker. These are all whiskers down here. And we got some whiskers that come out. And what we do is we make a decision on how we want those whiskers. So I'll do that. What is this line? Sometimes it can be hard to know what line is what. There we go. Bring this across. And now we can really see, as we add more burning to the side, we can see that this is lightening up. Is sometimes you feel a little freaked out because you think you went too dark. As you add more stuff next to it, it will lighten up. Because now you don't have the contrast of the really light wood next to the burning. You've got some burning next to it, so it's going to look darker. Or, I'm sorry. It's not going to look as dark. You said that wrong. So let's get right up under this lip. If you noticed, for this whole live stream, I've only been burning at 2.5 for every area that we've worked on. And this accomplishes two things. One, I'm controlling my burn better, so I'm not having a bunch of overburn. But two, which can be the most important, it keeps my pen cooler. My pens don't get hot like other people's because I don't burn as hot. Plus, how I hold my pen. My cord is underneath, zoomed in big time, underneath my pen in my hand, and that helps deflect some heat. But at 2.5, my pen's not hot at all. That trick definitely works better when you're at a higher heat. And sometimes I need to use a higher heat, just not in this case. Let's bring some wrinkles down here. This is a lighter area here. And then on this lower lip, we're going to do some large C strokes, open, more open U strokes. And what this does is it gives us that curve of a 3D object. And I can go back over it. Remember, I'm just blocking in right now. Okay. Looking to see if I drew a line for this actual light area. And I did not. So I'm going to leave a little gap. And I'm more on the left and dragging up. Just blocking in some of those whiskers, or not whiskers, sorry, wrinkles. So there's a little bit of gray here. Let's see here, that's lighter, so I'm going to bring some darks down. And again, I can always readjust. It's one of the good things about just blocking in. Lightest area, which is not overly light, is right up against the bottom of the top lip. I'm not going to draw a straight line. I'm going to make sure I break up this line so it doesn't feel like it's a, straight line, which is the same as over here. I got to move a little bit. This board is really thick and it's got the bark on the edge. It's a live edge. So in this case, I'm going to move my body instead of my board for now. I'm on my right leg, cutting up into the top lip. Bring some of that shadow down, while leaving space for those wrinkles. These wrinkles are what's going to really sell the realism of the horse. So we absolutely want them. And if maybe I lose a wrinkle because maybe I went a little too dark in an area, I just keep working it. Alright, so we're going to go across here because we've got this light line. All of this is dark. It's just different layers of dark. And then when we get up to the white fur at the next public live, I think you'll really start seeing a difference. See this curves. See, I'm on my left leg and I slowed down and look at that. It's burning darker. That's what we want. And there's a whisker in here. So what I'm going to do, just leave some space for it. Comes down. And then we go up and we got a ring, we got a whisker. Again, I'm just moving quickly. Shows is darker, and it's just a matter of working back and forth. Anywhere that looks like a ring, a whisker can go there. We just leave some space for it. And as we build up more and more, it'll start popping out. And see, with this tip I can get really thin. And if I want it thicker later, I just can scratch out or burn more around it. Sorry, sometimes I just need to stop talking. And it's hard to talk and burn and get it all right at the same time. Oh, we got a dark. See here, light, light, dark. Did I? Yep, I did. It's right here. We'll just do that for now. We can always add more. Not gonna stress about it. Just not gonna stress. Oops, sorry. Eyes went a little blurry. I got new glasses coming. Need to be able to see. Alright, let's darken this up just a little so we can round it out. Because I've got it a little off. That's better. See, I point out to you guys when I, something's a little off, that way one, you guys know that I mess up all the time. It's life. But two, if you're looking at it but can't figure out, something feels a little off as I'm working, even though I'm just blocking in, so give me that grace. Teaching you how to see it in your burning. So any animal who has a similar snout, this is how I would be burning it. Zebra, giraffe, some dogs. Let's see here, what else? Oh, I'm sure you get it. Anything that... Oops. Grain grab. I'm flat tapping that in just so I know where it goes. See how the whiskers start coming out? Although I went a little dark at the top of this whisker. It's totally okay. Now this will require more heat later to darken, but that's totally fine. It allows me to adjust. Thanks, Andrea. Yes, please don't forget to hit the like button. I'm going to back us out. I'm going to go ahead and pop off our reference so I don't have to back out as much my camera. And look at that, we're starting to have a horse face. There, hopefully that's... let me pop off this light since my hand's not right there. Hopefully that helps. And I'll bump that down a little bit. As I work this more and more back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, it will look like the reference. But for now, I just need to block in, and then I can erase my graphite, and I don't have to worry about it. Alrighty, so I did pull a card for this week of what we need to know about our art and us as we're working. Let me grab it. Plus turn off my burner. Alrighty, the universe is saying this week we need to focus on, not need, if you want to, influence. I maintain my free will. I am in control of my actions and acknowledge the influences around me. I choose my path using my values and convictions as guides and take ownership of each decision. To me, that's a very artist card. And I'll keep it up so you guys can look at it. Excuse me. Because we are all influenced in our art in some way. We see somebody else's art that we like, and maybe we kind of work it into our own, and that's called an influence. I don't do that often with my art, but it does happen for everyone. Let's flip this around. So, my actions, I took control of my actions. I may have made micro little decisions that are slightly different than the reference photo, and those are actions that I took in regards to my art that makes it mine and not the photograph. And that's something I try really hard to impress. If you don't like something in a photo, don't include it. Change it. Ignore it, change it. Make choices that make it your own and fits how you want your art to look. So, I thought this was a really good card for this week. Oops, sorry. And may it speak to you however you need it to speak to you. Alrighty. If we don't have any further questions, again, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new here, subscribe. And if you want this pattern and many others, click the join button. And if you got Facebook, you can get the patterns and reference photos that you're interested in off of the Facebook group. If you don't have that, but you can subscribe through Ko-fi, you're welcome to do that, and you can get the patterns there. If you have neither, you can still hit the join button either through Ko-fi or through YouTube, and I will send you the patterns. So however that works for you. And if right now you can't afford it, I totally understand. There's 2 free lives a month, and I try to discuss in detail what I'm doing to help you learn. And I have over 500 wood burning videos live in video, and I need to do some regular videos. It's been a little while. So it is always available to you. If you need to come back to this one, it will be here for you. So you know what to say. I'm trying to, it sounds like hubby might be coming in, but maybe not. I heard doors. Maybe not. Alrighty, say it with me. You're awesome. You can do this. Why? Because you're a pyro artist. Happy burning, guys. See you next week, members. Fingers crossed I don't get sick. Thanks for joining. Bye. It's Taco Tuesday. Taco Tuesday.